Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is... The mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters, who are ready now to perform. And already we're underway here.
Here's a guy that qualifies as one of the best defensive midfielders to ever play the game.
Patrick Vieira. Oh, smashing header! Caught offside that time. Kaka. Casemiro. Vieira. And this is Ibrahimovic, and he shoots! Cafuringa. Kyle Walker. Roberto Carlos. And he's intervened well there. Cafu short changes him with that pass. Kaka. Cafuringa. Beckenbauer. Now that looks a decent ball. He's found a way through. That is a brilliant interception. Absolutely there. Certainly not as big as those trying to stop them. Here's a chance! Lacking in accuracy.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Neymar, Rummenigge, can he finish? Still goalless. Vieira. Now it's Ibrahimovic. Walker cuts out the pass. Possession football, Jim, we're seeing plenty of it. What is it, though, that really makes it work?
Well, for me, what makes it work is the fact that everyone in this team has the courage to show for the ball. You can't shy away from it. You can't hide. You have to front up in a setup like this, and everyone is doing just that.
You make it sound so simple. Roberto Carlos is one whose deliveries we all know about. Aimed beyond the defence. Beckenbauer, and it's Roberto Carlos. Well, I'm not sure how the stats look in terms of expected goals, but nothing actual has materialised so far. Ronaldinho. Here's Vieira. And no, that was never going to make it. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Roberto Carlos. And there's the end of the first half. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means.
Celtic may probably be feeling a little aggrieved about not capitalising on such a bright start. Their mood at half-time should be more upbeat. The glass remains half full and it should spur them on.
So we reach the halfway point. Bullish header! No, not the best of headers.
Look, we've all been there. Not that it'll make him feel much better at the moment.
Nice looking ball. And this is Hullet. He's through now, is he? And Hullet! They've scored!
Boom! There he's born for the glory he's just managed. The apple on top of the tree.
Calm, composed, confident. What a super goal.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way and he just slips the other.
Celtic have fired themselves in front.
Well, talk about the perfect start to the second half. They've certainly come out with more purpose, more energy, and it's paid off beautifully.
Tries to pass it through. Oh, this looks sharp. Cafu gets across to intercept that. Nedved. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
I think the manager's pondering his options as to whether to stick or twist Peter in view of the time remaining. He might have a tough call to make now.
It's a pretty loose pass. Cafuringa. So the team separated just by the one goal, which came early in the second period. And the score is 1-0. Now this could be a chance. Neymar is onto this.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
But they've got it again. Pass is just off target. It's loose, and there's a race for the ball. Ronaldinho! Kyle Walker. Rummenigge. Casemiro. Into the last quarter of an hour.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
That's going to go a long way.
Rummenigge really has the confidence and skill to be able to hold the ball up like that until support arrives a little sooner, and just maybe there he overdid it slightly and should have released it because the support...
Cafuringa with the challenge, and he has given away a free kick.